Hello, Classy Crew. As we get close to the end of 2022, it's time to answer some hard questions like, where are the 12 days of Hey Jay? How far along are you in your pledges? Aren't you done yet? And when are you going to play whatever next game, like Monster Hunter 4U? So as we wrap up the end of the year, I do like to do a little bit of a recap of the year, kind of keep you all updated on what's happening from a content perspective, from a life perspective, because my life impacts my content, and where we're at with everything. So the first thing I want to address is, where are the 12 days of Hey Jay? This is, if you're new to the channel, has been a little holiday thing I've done for the last 2 years. 2 years ago, I did 12 videos, which were reviews of games I played throughout the year. So the 12 days of Hey Jays were 12 reviews. Last year, I upped it to do 12 different streams of games you all recommended to me for me to try out. And then I did 12 reviews of those. And I absolutely love the 12 days of Hey Jay, and it saddens me greatly that I am unable to do it this year. So as you may know, I've been traveling at the beginning of December, so I was overseas for a trip, and actually during the holidays, I have some family obligations that I have to leave my home to do. So it really takes me away from my streaming station and taking me away from the time to do that. The 12 days of Hey Jay is very intensive from time. It takes about, just streaming alone, that takes about almost 50 hours of my time that I have to schedule in. And then there's making all the videos. On top of all that, a little job update. So in past videos, I've shared how I've been juggling a lot of jobs. So basically my life became very unstable for the last 6 years when I jumped into the whole startup world. Long story short, I quit my cushy job as an engineer about 6 years ago, started a company, helped start a company called Enthusiast Gaming, which went on to become $1 billion company. I left that company in 2019 to pursue my own new initiatives. And it's been a wild ride between that, the pandemic, and everything that's been happening. At one point, I was working 5 jobs. Now, I have been building my own company over the last couple of years called XP Gaming. That's its official name now as of 2022. It's incorporated and everything. And this company basically puts on video game events. We help connect people in the video game industry for business, education, recruitment, all that fun stuff. I'll spare you the pitch, but the point is, the company is growing. It is taking more and more of my time, to the point that going into 2023, it is the only job I will have. All of my other jobs have gone outside, but basically I don't have the time to do more. And what's really scary is, as an entrepreneur, basically I'm fully responsible for my own livelihood and the livelihood of others. So like, there's no money in the bank. I don't get paid. I don't pay myself. So anyways, not to get into the details, but 2023 is going to be a wild year as I focus to grow the company into something incredible. 2022, we put on multiple events with great success, and 2023 is looking to be bigger with just events that I couldn't have imagined going better. So that's where I'm at. 2023, I'm 100% focused on that and doing some streams. Now, for the content, where are we at? 2022, I did quite a few pledges. I think it's the busiest one. So to recap, Sunbreak pledge, do all the quests in that game. Man, that game is just massive. They just keep adding so many quests. There's so many things to do. It's getting to the point that's a little grindy, and some people are even telling me on stream, why aren't you just using master rank gear to clear all the higher rank gear stuff? And that is just not part of the pledge. The pledge was to do challenges. Now, Sunbreak is not going to be ending. Wait, before I get into the pledges, I forgot to say 12 days of Hey Jay. So that's why it's not happening. I'm just busy, not enough time. However, we're going to replace the 12 days of Hey Jay with something I call the Hey Jay Holiday Rush, which is where I try to speed through as many of my pledges and try to wrap up as many of them as I can before the end of the year. There is no schedule to this. Whenever I have time, I'm basically streaming, and I'm going to try to get through this. Because I'm getting close to wrapping them up. Elden Ring started that in, I believe, April. I have 11 bosses left as per the recording of this video. So the game has 165 bosses, only 11 left. Malenia's killing me constantly. It's so hard to break that wall, but I'm chipping away at her. I will defeat her sooner or later. And then there's a bunch of other bosses that are also just as painful. So I really think Elden Ring is within my grasp to wrap up. Monster Hunter 3U. We're now a year since I pledged to kill all monsters in that game. There are 3 monsters left: Lucent Narga, Savage Pickle, and the other one, the Abyssal Laggy. That one terrifies me because I have hardware problems streaming that game, and so it's a really unpleasant experience to go to. That said, I will try to do it. I could have a good stream and kill all 3, honestly, assuming the Wii U holds up. So that is something I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to go back to and clean it up. It's just, if it wasn't for the hardware issues, it would be so much easier. Third pledge, we've got Final Fantasy VII Remake 100%. I am at the hardest part of this pledge, which is the bonus endgame bosses, and it is daunting. That said, there are some strategies to beat them. I just got to practice, get good, and overcome it. Again, I could potentially finish that in a stream or two, so I'm very close, but I'm at a wall. I have 11 achievements left to get in that game, and once I can get through these really hard endgame bosses, I can clean up everything else fairly easily. It's just a small, minor time commitment. So I'm going to try to knock all that out. And then finally going back to Sunbreak, as I was saying, super grindy. I am not ending that pledge this year. But going into 2023, I don't want to bring all of that baggage, if you will. I know that the appetite for Sunbreak seems to be waning. People are kind of tired of it. And so I'm going to do a lot of my grinding off stream. What I will keep on stream are anytime I take on a new monster, the Apex Emergency event quests that are waiting for me in high rank. And as I do the AR grind, the anomaly quests, I will grind those in multiplayer. So there's going to be some Sunbreak content, but I'm going to be putting a lot of that off of stream to make room for new things. And now let's talk about 2023 and what's coming up, at least in the first quarter or two of the year. Things that I need to do. Devil May Cry 3, 4, 5 are still on my to-do list, and I really want to go back and finish the pledge of doing all Devil May Cry. That said, for those of you who still remember that I once upon a time pledged Castlevania, the entire franchise, 3 years now, I remember. I know that there's 2 games left. I will try to sneak those in where I can. It's still on my radar. Then, Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, I want to get into that as soon as I finish Final Fantasy VII Remake. Crisis Core is a game I never played before, so as someone who loves the Final Fantasy VII universe, I want to know the story of Crisis Core. I want to play the game. I am so excited to start Crisis Core. Looking forward to getting into that. In February, we have Wild Hearts, which is dropping. That's a game I covered a little bit on the channel, and I really am curious and want to play that game. So despite me being in like the media beta and whatever, it's a game I'm hyped for and I want to play. So Wild Hearts is on the radar. I will stream and cover that game. Another one, Dragon's Dogma, has been is getting very close to my to-do list. That is, I think, the next RPG, proper RPG that I will take on. I think it's a proper RPG. Again, I don't know anything about Dragon's Dogma, but that's another one I want to play. And finally, Monster Hunter 4U. I'm happy to share. We will be starting that in January. I haven't announced anything else, official dates or anything. That's going to come out in January, but Monster Hunter 4U, I will be starting the year with that. That will be our Monster Hunter title to play through 2023. And I'm super looking forward to that because it's very story heavy. Apparently they introduced some, the Insect Glaive, the Charge, I think it's called the Charge Blade. Might be misspeaking right now. And there's so many monsters from there that I haven't gotten to try to fight one-on-one. And there's the whole Magala thing that's part of that game. So I'm really curious to see what that game's all about. And I've got to leave room for me to change my mind. But for now, I think I'm going to attempt to stream this on the 3DS. I have a 3DS that I can do that with. But if for whatever reason the quality and everything ends up being not so good, I will switch to emulator. Reason I'm doing 3DS is a lot of people have one and are excited to join in and play with me on the 3DS. So that's why we're going to do that. So that is what's on the docket for 2023. Is there anything else I'm missing? I want to say yes. I feel that there is something missing. Oh, since the last update, so back in June or July, I had said I had split the channels into 3 different content buckets. Reflecting on that, looking at the performance and everything, I have to say I was wrong. YouTube did not do what I thought it would have done. It just pretty much divided my audience. It's really unfortunate to see. But the bright side is I don't see myself recombining the channels. First of all, that just sounds like a mess. Second of all, I have kind of too much content that actually having the content divided this way allows me to have a more focused stream and not have to worry about content clashing with each other. So if I want to drop a Monster Hunter video on a Wednesday and a RPG video on a Thursday, I don't have to worry about that with them being on different channels. So who knows? Maybe YouTube algorithm will change its ways someday. It's a weird beast. I thought I had unlocked a secret code to it, but I did not. But we're going to keep putting out content and seeing where we end up. So that's where I'm at the end of 2022. I hope hope that clears up some stuff. I hope you guys are excited for 2023 and all the content to come. And what else? Hopefully I will see you on stream or on the future journals or content. And once again, I'm sorry that I couldn't bring the 12 Days of Hey Jay out this year. I definitely want to bring it out next year. Other than that, let me know if there are games that you're excited for 2023 that are on your radar, because I always like to see what's out there. Even though I am limited on time in what I can play, I love building a backlog list just because, I don't know, I guess I love pain, and I think we all do because we all have backlogs. So let me know what you're playing in 2023. I will see you on the next video, and until next time, keep it classy. One more thing I almost forgot. First stream of 2023 will be a special Monster Hunter 1 stream. I have to go hunt a Yan Kutkut. So join me for that, as I will be streaming that in early January, date to be announced, probably January 4th or so.
In the land of snow, where frozen winds blow, for those who roam their Seliana, in Mira frost made by sovereign cost, one dangerous cost for Seliana.